Up to this point, you've learned everything you need to know about how single notes interact with each other, and we call those scales. And then you've learned how two notes interact with each other. We call those intervals. And now we are up to triads, in which we will have three notes stacked in thirds, and we're going to learn all about those. First, a triad that is built on thirds. We have a root of the triad, the third, and the fifth. It's going to be very important to realize which one is which, because while everything will start with the root, then the third, and the fifth this semester, next semester we are going to jumble up all of the notes. So maybe the fifth is on the bottom, maybe the third is on the bottom. Again, for this semester, the root will always be on the bottom for now. We have four types of triads. And again, we're just going to start with the major scale. We take the root and we go up to scale degree 3 and scale degree 5 and create a major triad. Let's analyze that a little bit further now that you know your intervals. Between the root and third, there is a major third. Between the root and fifth, there is a perfect fifth, just like we had in our intervals from scale degree 1 to scale degree 3 and scale degree 1 to scale degree 5. So that is a major triad. Let's do that in a different key. And let's build a major triad on E flat. Well, you simply need to know your E flat major scale, and you know that it's going to be scale degree 1, scale degree 3, and scale degree 5. Because E flat major has an A flat and an E flat and a B flat and an E flat. So there's a major triad. Now let's go back to C major, because we need to find our three other triads. So again, this is scale degree 1, 3, and 5 in our major scale. To go from major, let's go this way. To go from major to minor, we lower the third scale degree. So there's a major triad, and there is a minor triad. And let's go ahead and analyze that further too. In a minor triad, we have a minor third instead of our major third over here. And we still have a perfect fifth. So that's our minor triad. We can go one step further, and we can go from minor to diminished. Our diminished triad will lower scale degree 5. Let me scoot that back a little. Here we go. And there's our diminished triad. Notice that we still have that minor third, but now we have a diminished fifth. And there's one more scale you need to know, or excuse me, one more triad you need to know. And we have to go back to our major triad, and we're going to go this way to an augmented triad. So we're going to take the major triad and raise scale degree 5, the 5th, to make an augmented 5th. And that will make an augmented triad. So there are the 4 you need to know. Major, lower the 3rd to get to minor, lower the 5th to get to diminished, and back to major, raise the 5th to get to augmented. And let's do that all again on a different scale degree. Or excuse me, on a different note, I should say. Let's do E. First, we need to know our E major scale. And our E major scale will have a G sharp. So there's scale degree 1, 3, and 5, and E major. So there's our major triad. And now we're going to lower the 3rd to a G natural. Now we have E, G, and B to make our minor triad. So again, that's lowering the 3rd. And now we're going to lower the 5th to get to our diminished triad. So it's E, G, and B flat. And there is diminished. And one more, let's go back to major, and we're going to take this 5th and we're going to raise the 5th to be E, G sharp, and B sharp. And there is our augmented triad. Let's do one more, and we won't write out all 4, but we'll alter the major triad to be able to get to where we want to go. So let's go to A flat. And we know in our A flat major scale, there is also an E flat. So this is major, but what if we wanted to make that minor? There's major, lower the 3rd to get to minor. And then what if we wanted to go to diminished? We lower the 5th to get to diminished. Let's reverse course and go to augmented. Well, if this is major, augmented would be raising the 5th. So there we are, an augmented triad. Let's do one more thing. What if we're given a note and a triad? There we are. What if we have to figure out what that triad is? The first part is going to be easy because notice that there's a 3rd and there's a 3rd. So you know the root of this triad is going to be B. After that, you need to figure out how is this, is it all in the major scale or is it altered from the major scale? Well, we should know our B major scale, and our B major scale has a D sharp and an F sharp. So this would be B major. We would lower the third to get to minor, B, D, F sharp, and there it is. This is B minor. This is, again, like intervals, in which hopefully this is understandable and you're having no trouble with this concept, but there is so much practice you have to put into it. So again, the assignment for this module might be pretty long, but you need the practice to be able to know all of these triads.